Greetings from Pompeii, Italy. During the day today, I caught a train from Rome early in the morning after the Holy Mass to make a pilgrimage to the tomb of St. Alphonsus Liguori, some of the places he lived, and also to Blessed Bartolo Longo, to the church that he built, the Basilica of Our Lady here in Pompeii. So I'm standing in Pompeii in the midst of the ruins in this town where, in the blink of an eye, life was flourishing. People had no idea, but that day they were being called to leave this world and to come face to face with our Lord. And it's a very good reminder for us to live to the full every day that our Lord gives us, striving, particularly through the Holy Rosary, to help everyone in the world, if possible, come to know our Lord and Our Lady, to love Him, to love her, and to follow the path to salvation. So just a short ways away from here, but unfortunately I can't record in it, is the Basilica where there's the famous miraculous image. But before talking about that, I wanted to say a few words about Blessed Bartolo Longo. He grew up in the 1800s, he was an attorney, and somewhere in his late teens, he made the terrible decision to leave the practice of the Catholic faith. And even worse, when he was in college, he joined groups of Spiritism and eventually became a satanic priest. And he lived that life for several years. But by the end of his 20s, thanks to the help of a friend, he'd realized the tremendous error he'd made a good confession, and had begun dedicating what he would spend the next 50 years of his life doing, which is propagating the most Holy Rosary. That was his great life's work. And in the shrine, there's this beautiful painting of Our Lady holding the child Jesus, and St. Catherine of Siena and St. Dominic who are kneeling down. And there there's roses around, and it's an image of them praying to Our Lady of the Rosary. And that image had a whole number of miracles. That's where, for example, the devotion for the novena, where you make 3 novenas of petition in advance. 3 novenas, so 27 days asking for a grace, and then 3 novenas afterwards, 27 days giving thanks for the grace, even before you received it, giving thanks in advance because God's heard our prayers. That comes from here. And that comes from a young lady whose name I cannot remember right now, but a young lady who had 3 incurable diseases. The doctors, not just one, but 3 incurable diseases, and the doctor said there's no way that she could be healed. And she made this novena, so 3 novenas petition, 3 novenas of thanksgiving. She was miraculously healed, and that was one of many miraculous healings that took place as a confirmation of the importance of Our Lady of the Rosary. So that's one place of pilgrimage. I was praying for you there just a short while ago. I'm going to go back in a few minutes and pray there for you again. And then I went before that. The first stop of the train was at a place called Pagano, which is where St. Alphonsus Liguori spent his last days and died. And that was very striking. In Divine Providence, I asked, and there was this elderly brother Fra Matteo. Fra Matteo was willing to take me back where the public usually can't go, into the museum and some other areas to see. For example, I actually could do things like touch the chair in which St. Alphonsus Liguori sat immobile for 3 or 4 days because he was bilocating at the time to Rome to assist the Holy Father. And then he woke up. Or the altars where he celebrated Mass, which I was able to kiss and venerate. So many other things, and especially to get a sense of where he lived and how he lived. For example, for I think the last 10 years of his life, he suffered tremendously physically. I think about the last 10 years of his life, if I was understanding the Italian correctly, he was unable to walk, so he was in a sort of wheelchair. And nonetheless, every single day, he would make the Stations of the Cross in this wheelchair for quite a long time. If I understood the Italian correctly, could last even 2 hours. And so it was beautiful, the same exact paintings in the same hallway, exactly where he went down while he was sick every day to make the Stations of the Cross. I wasn't able to actually stop the tour long enough to make the Stations, but I was able to pray there. Or the window, there was a window, again, in the building just as it was, the window opened up, and it was from that window that during his lifetime the brothers said, Father Alphonsus, or Bishop Alphonsus at that point, the Mount Vesuvius is erupting again. And he was there with them. He looked out the window, he gave a blessing, and Mount Vesuvius stopped, the eruption stopped. So those are just a few of the many graces. I thought it was worthwhile on this trip to say a few words to you about how it's been going. Most of my days have been, well, they've all been very full. They've mostly been full of research in the library for the doctorate in moral theology. But outside of that, there have also been many good meetings and discussions with different people in Rome. I'll just leave it at that. So many good discussions. I had one last night for several hours with 2 good priests, and those will be continuing in the coming days. So I'll look forward to praying the Holy Rosary with you again tomorrow as we continue our novena, but I wanted just to say a word to you from here in Pompeii and let you know I was praying for you at these holy sites, and to thank you very much for your prayers. God bless you.